Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. Kisumu is also fantastic, as you can see. And maybe you could also let me know where you are watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, on Saturday, William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, held a high-profile meeting with Luhya leaders at State House in Nairobi. But that meeting is causing serious political storm in the Luhya nation. Why? Because William Ruto, in his own wisdom, decided to convene a meeting of Luhya nation without the involvement or without notifying or informing Musalia Mudavadi, who is the Luhya leader in quotes, without informing Moses Masika Wetang'ula, another Luhya leader, and even his own point person during the last general election, Boni Khalwale. That group was actually led to State House by none other than the Secretary General of UDA party, Cleophas Malala. Let me just read for you what Malala posted on that particular day. This is what Malala posted after the State House meeting. State House Nairobi. Today, I was privileged to have led a delegation of leaders drawn from our vast Mulembe nation for a meeting with President William Ruto at State House in Nairobi. Strengthening UDA party grassroots support in Western region took center stage in the meeting, with the defection of members from Azimio into UDA, led by former Bungoma Governor Honorable Wycliffe Wamangati, Ambassador Ken Vetesia Vihiga. This was one of the key players in ANC party. He left ANC party just a few days to the election. And Honorable Isaac Andambwa Lugari also getting actualized. Other notable leaders present include Trans Nzoia County Senator Alan Chesang, who is UDA, Webuye West MP Dan Wanyama, UDA, Lurambi MP Bishop Hamala, who is ODM, Trans Nzoia County Speaker, blah, 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 Masi, Mboga. So basically, this meeting was about UDA party. And Boni Khalwale, who was William Ruto's main guy in Western Kenya, because remember, Malala was incorporated in UDA party after the election. And Boni Khalwale did not take that meeting kindly. Listening to Boni Khalwale's response over this particular matter and his warning to William Ruto. Because in this video, I want us to look at two things. Why Boni Khalwale is actually mad about this particular meeting, and probably try to figure out why Ruto decided to overlook Mudavadi and Weta during this particular meeting. Listening to Khalwale.
William Ruto. President Ruto, we voted for you. We respect you. We love you. I work for you. I am one of your leaders in the Senate. And Ruto, I want to tell you today, kwamba ulituomba kura ya rais, tukachangia, umepata. Mungu ndiye aliamua. President, sababu ilikuwa mbili peke yake ilionifanya nikaomba hawa watu wetu na wakakubali. Niliwaambia, wewe, Your Excellency President, ukiwa President, Luhya land will never be the same again, kwamba maendeleo itakuwa pembe zetu sote. Mwiyama na oshu mwiyama. Jambo ya mwisho, President Ruto, ambaye niliambia hawa Luhya, ni kwamba vile tunatoa uhuru na tunaingiza wewe, wakati wewe utatoka na sisi wa Luhya tutaingiza President wa Kenya awe Mluhya. And I want to repeat it for the absent time. Nikiwa hapa kwa watu wetu kwamba I have not lost focus. We are supporting the president today up to 2032. President awe president, na katika hiyo miaka sisi tuone maendeleo ikifanyika pembe zingine za Kenya, ifanyike hapa kwetu. Na Mr. President, ukae ukijua, ukiwa na mtu mrefu, mfupi, mnono, tajiri, maskini, wakae wakijua kwamba vile mnatembea na Boni Khalwale, sina siri. Mimi ni mtoto ya maskini, mtoto ya changa brua, Mimi ni mtoto mwenye Mungu alitaka nikuwe vile nilivyo, siwezi tembea na uongo. President Ruto, sisi tunataka tukurithi ukitoka kama rais na sisi walio tuingia. I'm telling you. Kwa hivyo Mr. President, nikiona katika mtandao serikali ya picha na nani, those people are not our leaders. Watu wenye naona kwa mtandao naanza kujipendekeza kwa rais, ndio rais aseme ati nyinyi ndio mnatoka uliokuwa mkoa wa Magharibi. No wenyu kuinjira Luhya msata bayo babaka bakenya yamanya msata ukurang alangongwa Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi, msata wakabili alangongwa Moses Masika Wetang'ula, msata ukumalika alangwa Shinshin Dr. Boni Khalwale. And President, don't lose that focus.
Now, that is Boni Khalwale. And just like I keep on telling you, in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. William Ruto knew so well that this meeting was going to cause serious political storm in the Luhya nation. But he still went ahead and hosted these guys. But why do you think Boni Khalwale is mad? Before we get into that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, I want to ask you or request you to just click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. What we do on this channel is that we analyze politics in a way you can't find any other place. So the best thing is just press that subscribe so that next time we produce a video, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. And without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, for this particular video, I want to make a request. Make sure you give it thumbs up. Make sure you drop your comment. And of course, those who normally send coffee, you can do the same using those numbers you're seeing on the screen, because it also goes a long way in supporting this channel. Now, ladies and gentlemen, why do you think Boni Khalwale is mad that William Ruto met with Luhya leaders without involving Mudavadi, without involving Moses Masika Wetang'ula? Let's face it, Musalia Mudavadi is the prime cabinet secretary as we speak. And the reason why Ruto appointed him to that position was simple: to deter him from participating in political activities. But of course, meeting Ruto at State House with Mudavadi would not be interpreted to mean that it was a political meeting. So, but why is Boni Khalwale mad? Number one, it is clear that William Ruto is trying to elevate Cleophas Malala in Luhya politics. Cleophas Malala has been moving around. So the question is, why do you think William Ruto, or what did William Ruto see in Cleophas Malala to an extent that he overlooked everybody in Kenya Kwanza and made him the Secretary General of his party? We never know why, but I think that fact is not sitting well with Boni Khalwale. And Boni Khalwale being the senior most UDA leader from Western Kenya, was the first person to defect when the others were still with Azimio, or was it NASA at that time. So Boni Khalwale is not taking it lightly that Ruto is now elevating Malala. Remember, Ruto did something good. He made Boni Khalwale, you see, the minority whip in the National Assembly, at the Senate, which is good for him. But now the elevation of Malala, it means UDA activities are being organized in the Luhya nation without someone like, or without the input of Boni Khalwale, who is the senator for Kakamega. Number two, I also tend to think that Boni Khalwale, being a veteran politician, has read something that William Ruto is actually out to undermine the Luhya leaders. And the moment that will come clear, probably we'll see how Boni Khalwale and other Luhya leaders are going to react. But I tend to think that being a veteran politician, he has read something in this move. There is no way Ruto can just decide to convene a meeting, even if it's UDA meeting. Some of these people have actually worked with Mudavadi in the past. And of course, without Weta, Ruto would probably not be the president of the Republic of Kenya. And Bungoma is where Wangamati comes from. So you get the point. So for me, I'm looking at Boni Khalwale as someone who has the interest of the Mulembe nation at heart, and therefore is not keen on any effort that's going to undermine the Luhya leaders. Number three, It is also clear that to Boni Khalwale that William Ruto is trying to create a new set of leaders without the involvement of Luhya leaders. William Ruto did this effectively in the Kikuyu nation to an extent that sometimes when you look at the members of parliament from the Kikuyu nation, then you wonder, for example, if you look at that member of parliament who replaced Moses Kuria, considering the fact that he represents a constituency which has produced presidents, two of them, then you wonder. That's exactly what he's trying to do in Western Kenya. Ruto is trying to create new leaders using his own political party. And that is not setting well with Mudavadi. And lastly, I mean, with Boni Khalwale. Lastly, I also tend to think that Boni Khalwale is also reading some sinister motives by the move to lock out Weta and Mudavadi. Remember, there's the 2027 election, and also there's the 2032 election. Boni Khalwale is very clear that they are going to support Ruto up to 2032. In return, they expect Ruto to support Weta and to support Mudavadi, one of them, for the presidency. But based on what is happening, it is clear that Ruto is doing away with them. And that is something which Boni Khalwale is trying to protect. I don't know whether Ruto has called him, but I'm sure, probably, based on the noise he made, probably he has been called. But why would Ruto, of all the people, convene a meeting of lawyers without involving Mudavadi, without involving Weta? For example, when you have Wangamati, a former governor who was one of the critics of Wetang'ula, coming to State House, a potential candidate again in 2027, then what are you telling Weta? William Ruto is doing this because, number one, he's keen on UDA party. I can tell you for a fact that William Ruto just doesn't have option. If he had option, he would only have one party. And that party would be UDA party. Nothing like Kenya Kwanza. He has tried to push Weta to fold Kenya. Weta is not willing. Ruto has tried so hard to push Mudavadi to fold Kenya. Mudavadi is not willing. What do you expect Ruto to do? Ruto can't strengthen Ford Kenya. He can't strengthen the ANC party. He can only strengthen his party. And how can he strengthen his party? He can strengthen his party by targeting loyal leaders. For example, by going for Cleophas Malala, he did serious injustice to ANC party. Musalia Mudavadi did not see that coming. And again, by appointing Mudavadi to stay there in Nairobi, in offices and moving around, it means UDA as a political party will have Malala organizing it on the ground. So for me, Ruto is keen on strengthening UDA party on the grassroots. And that's why Malala was very clear in his statement that the meeting, let me just read for you that part again, that he was saying that, what was the point? He was saying something here. Yeah, yes. He was saying that strengthening UDA party's grassroots support in a Western region took center stage in the meeting with the defection of members from Azimio into UDA led by former Bungoma governor. So basically, it's about UDA, nothing. Number two, Ruto is also keen on merging all parties from in Kenya Kwanza to form one. But Weta and the rest are resisting. So how do you achieve that? You forcefully force them to merge. So by having Wangamati, it means Ruto can actually use Wangamati effectively to checkmate Wetang'ula in Bungoma. He almost delivered Bungoma to Azimio. By having this Vihiga guy in Vihiga, it means Musalia Mudavadi will have serious problem there. And that guy is being prepared for the gubernatorial seat in Vihiga, something which Musalia Mudavadi has failed all along to win. So for me, Mudavadi will have no option because we will not even have the time to campaign. He's a government official. So he will be forced by circumstances. to fold his party and join UDA, and you'll be told that you want presidency, join UDA, then you'll contest from inside there. Number 3, which is my last point, if you ask me, is that Ruto has now realized that he can engage the Luhya nation directly. Probably has realized that as much as Weta and Mudavadi brought some value to his campaigns, when it comes to actual numbers, they might not have those actual numbers on the ground. So he believes that he can directly go and engage with Luhya leaders directly on the grassroots or on the ground. I don't know whether he's going to succeed, but let me know what you think. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.